Welcome to The Life of Hair. My name's James Atkinson. Thank you for joining me in this week's episode. Now in this episode is all about cutting that very trendy gringe shape, or grown out fringe that some of you might call it. I don't know where I got that term gringe from. I think it was a magazine. Anyway, this is a really foolproof trick, tip, way of cutting this fringe so simply. It sits so beautifully. Doing this particular method, I know some of you are going to think that this method's slightly unorthodox, and I don't mind that. I don't mind doing slightly unorthodox things to get the results that I want. So enjoy it, and if you do enjoy it, then hit that subscribe button. Thank you for all of those of you that have hit that subscribe button recently. Smash that thumbs up button. It really helps, and I'll see you again next week for another episode of The Life of Hair. First thing we're going to look at is the pre-section for a fringe. I always use triangular shaped sections for fringes. It just sits better in my opinion. And on this particular fringe, I make sure my section is as wide as it can be without it eating into the hair that is on the vertical line down the face. This will ensure that your fringe will be easy to find for your client every single time. There we have the pre-section for this particular fringe. The next step is to make a micro ponytail. Now, making a micro ponytail seems like madness right now, but when I explain to you why in just a second, you will totally get it. Double your band over, make sure your ponytail's tight but not too tight. Split it into two and pull the ponytail until the band is right on the hairline. This is very important. What you are doing by putting this band in is you are creating a lot of over direction. This over direction will mean that simply you will end up with a beautiful curve by simply cutting a square line. Measure where you want your final result to be, elevate the fringe straight up to horizontal and cut a square line. Always cut twice, that it is safer that way. Just take that little bit extra just to be sure that you are going to get the exact length you want, rather than cutting too much off and not having that little bit of leeway. You will see that it is beautifully curved now, and that is this fringe cut absolutely bang on. All you have to do now is teach your client how to blow dry it. If they know how to blow dry it, then great. If you've taught them already, superb. But if you haven't, it is a great thing to do. Just to teach them, all they need to do is blow dry the fringe straight forward in one big section, and it will sit absolutely beautifully. And again, with the straightening, straight forward and just bevel it round. The last thing that I recommend you do, depending on how thick the fringe is just take the fringe section, elevate it to the center, and just soften the ends of the fringe to integrate it into the sides more seamlessly. For me, this is one of my all-time favorite fringes. It suits so many face shapes, dependent on the length that you choose. And this is an absolutely foolproof way of getting it to sit perfectly every time. And here we have the finished look. An absolutely beautiful fringe, suits so many face shapes. As I previously mentioned, really accentuates the cheekbones on this particular client, and it is so easy to wear. Day or night, dressed up, dressed down, you name it, it's the king of versatility. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Life of Hair, and if you have, then don't forget, smash that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, it really helps, and I'll see you again next week for another episode of The Life of Hair.